Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for another Tuesday show. This is Niners versus Eagles week. Finally, we're going to put to rest who the best team in the NFC is. Is it the Eagles at 10-1, or is it the Niners at 8-3? Who does Vegas think the better team is by the odds? We're going to talk about that, but before we do, let me introduce my boys, because it wouldn't be the same without the boys here. Tonight, we got Peter. How you doing, Peter?
What's going on, Beto? Appreciate you having me again, every Tuesday. But yeah, extremely excited for this game coming up and getting a little bit of revenge on those Eagles.
Oh, yeah, I hear that. And we got my boy, Brandon. What's up, Brandon?
What's going on, Beto? Thanks for having me, too. I appreciate it, man. Excited for this game. Been looking forward to it. And I'm ready to shut these sorry-ass Eagles up.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. Well, Brandon, go ahead and take off with the show. But before we do that, let me go ahead and just recognize those in the house, those that are popping in. We got Jimmy Perez in the house. So what's up, Jimmy? We got Daniel Burry Sports in the house. What's up, brother? We got Roberto Davis in the house. What's up, my friend? We got Joseph Hayden in the house. What's up, Joseph? We got Brad Lodge in the house. What's up, Brad? We got Daniel Cantu in the house. What's up, brother? And we got a little bit of royalty in the house. We got Jess from East Coast, Red and Gold. Welcome to the show. We got my boy Nico in the house. What's up, Nico? Buenos pinches Niners, F the Migos. We got, all right. Those are it for now. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Go ahead, Brandon. Take it away, my friend.
All right. Let's get it right into it, fellas. My first question for you guys is, what do the 49ers have to do to pull off a dub against a Philadelphia Eagles team?
Go ahead, Pete.
Pete, go ahead.
So it sounds really simple. It sounds really simple when I say it this way, but literally all they got to do is execute. If they can just not make mistakes, not get penalties to drive the offense back, not have penalties lead the Eagles down the field, they win this game. They're the more talented team. They have more weapons. Their defense is 10 times better. It sounds really simple, but it's not necessarily the easiest thing for the Niners to accomplish. We have a problem with penalties, but we've got to keep that in check in this game, because teams tend to leave the Eagles a little bit, and then they end up coming back in the second half, and the 49ers can't allow that to happen in this game.
Yeah, I agree with you, Pete. Real quick, before I give my part of the question, my answer to the question that Brandon brought up, great question, Brandon. You're going to be seeing a lot of lower thirds. So basically, how you just saw the Twitter, you're going to see mine. You're going to see, I just made one for Brandon. I made one for Peter. So I got their Instagram. I got their Facebook, their YouTube. So keep an eye on the lower thirds. I'm going to be popping them consecutively throughout the show. If you guys want to follow my boy Brandon, you can also follow my boy Peter. And make sure to follow our channels. We are going live on all 3 channels on YouTube at the same time. So when you get a chance, make sure to go to each channel and hit the like button. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Even though we're coming as a partnership, we are trying to grow our individual channels. I mentioned this in the past. We're going to get together. We're going to put our finances, resources together, us 3, and we're going to bring some nice gifts that we can give out to you guys. As our channels grows, the more gifts we give, the faster it grows, the bigger gifts we give. So you will be our motivation of what size of gift we give out based on how fast you guys fill our channels. But welcome everyone. And to the question, what do the Niners need to do to be able to defeat the Eagles? Personally, I think, and I'm going to agree with Pete, is don't defeat yourself with the penalties. Don't put yourself in 3rd and longs because of stupid mistakes. I know it's going to be loud. It's going to be crazy. The offensive line needs to queue up, and they need to play disciplined football on both sides. They can't shoot themselves in the foot. The Eagles, 10-1, are a very good team. They're a scrappy team. They find ways to win good, and they find ways to win ugly. At the end of the day, people may say they're not good. They are good. They're playing great. They're not playing. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they're 10-1, and you can't take that lightly. They're 10-1. They won 10 games for a reason. Now, with that said, who's the better team? The Niners are a better team on all sides of the ball, except probably special teams. I believe the Eagles do edge us on special teams, especially with a 59-yard kick to be able to go into overtime to even try to beat the Buffalo Bills in the rain. Yeah, that is good special teams. That's something the Niners and Jake Moody is going to have to step up. But when it comes to and we're going to break this down a little bit later, but when it comes down to defense and offense, damn straight. And this is not me saying it because I'm a fan. This is based, and I'm going to show you guys numbers and a little bit why I speak the way I speak. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and bring him up real quick, Brandon, if you don't mind, and then we'll go ahead and move on to any questions you may have for us for tonight. Let me go ahead and go to that. So here we are. We got the Niners.
I believe the Eagles are like 29th in points.
Yeah, let me bring up the Eagles first. The Eagles are 10-1. Points scored 310. They're fifth. They're fifth. Points allowed. Okay, these are points they allowed to opposing offense. 246. They're 19th overall. Okay, then overall they're 7th. Offense they're 7th. Defense they're 10. And special teams, they're 10. That's pretty good. Not great, but pretty steady across the board. Okay. Now you go into the Niners. Niners are 8-3. Points scored 310, fifth, tied with the Eagles. So they score as much as the Eagles do. But points allowed 170. They're in first place. This defense is better than Philadelphia. Okay, they're in first place. Overall, first place. Offense, first place. Defense, first place. Now, special teams is where we kind of went.
We've always struggled. We've always struggled.
25th overall. That needs to step up. So what I'm saying is we cannot afford to make mistakes on special teams. And as bad as our special teams are, we lost our best player on special teams, Odom, to the year. So prayers to him for a speedy recovery. He had successful surgery today. That was great. But I just wanted to show you guys a chart of the Eagles and the Niners. This is why the Niners are favorite. at 3.5 over the Eagles in their house. They're 10-1. We're 8-3, and Vegas has the Niners winning this game. Now, with that said, does it mean the Niners are going to win? Absolutely not, and we're going to discuss that further. Go ahead, Brandon.
But I mean, Vegas has us 3-point favorites, and it just went up this morning to 3 from 2.5. That actually kind of surprised me. I'm not even gonna lie, just because the Eagles are 10-1 and they're at home. What were your guys' thoughts when you saw that it even went up more today, from 2.5 to 3? Beto, you go first.
When I first seen it, when they first did it, they did the Eagles by 1 point. I'm like, okay, all right. Normally the home team gets 3 points automatically because you're a home team. I'm like, they're giving them a point. I'm like, all right, this is right after the Eagles won against Buffalo. And then the next day I looked at it and it was 2.5. And I thought for a second, okay, they went up. All right, under 3 points. And then I looked at it and I'm like, oh shit, the Niners are favorite 2.5 points, not the Eagles. And then I was wondering, like, wait a minute, what's going on here? But then I started to look at the matchups, and people kind of get all stuck on the record. Yeah, they're 10-1. Yes, they won. But if you look at the games, they have not blown anybody out of the water. They've been playing a lot of close games. That defense of the Eagles is suspect at best. They give up a lot of points. As you saw, they're 19th in points given up. And here comes a number one offense into town. And Vegas, whatever Vegas is, they're not stupid. They know their stuff. There's a reason why the Niners are favorites. So am I surprised? Kind of, because they're playing at home and they're 10-1. But then once I started to look at the matchups, I am not surprised that we are favorite because we are the better team. Are we going to execute as a better team? That is yet to be seen. But we are definitely on paper the better team.
All right.
Yeah,
Pete?
I would say that I wasn't shocked because the 49ers have been on a roll and the Eagles are squeaking out games against 6-6 teams. So, and I look at the Eagles, and this might sound crazy to some, but I look at them as the Minnesota Vikings of last year. They're winning a lot of close games. Their defense is suspect. When they go up, it'll be interesting to see what happens when they go up against a complete team, and the 49ers, who has an offense and a defense. But I'm not going to say that they're fraudulent as the Minnesota Vikings were last year, but it's a little similar. And I honestly, like, I can just understand where Vegas is going with it because the 49ers have been just scoring points like crazy. It's very rare that they score under 30 points at this point, and their defense has been lights out since they got back from the bye. So, yeah, and if you look at this Eagles defense, what's going on with them is their defensive line isn't as good as it was last year. They're not getting sacks as much as they were last year, but they're completely looking at their defense, and if the pass rush doesn't get there, they're in trouble because that secondary is terrible. Their linebackers are terrible. So, yeah, when you look at this matchup, if the 49ers execute, how do you get if they give Brock Purdy any amount of time back there? Like it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a rough day. But I think it's key for the 49ers to get in front early. Don't be trying to come back from behind. They can't start slow in this game. But the other pieces, I think that Shanny needs to go back to his identity of running the ball because they need to take advantage. This team is not good against the run. Wear down that defensive line to keep that pass rush down. And and then, yeah, like I can see where Vegas is seeing, like the 49ers just have a better team overall. If you go on paper and you just look for position, it's a bad matchup for the Eagles.
Yeah, I agree. I've been watching some of the media lately the past at least 2 days right now. And, we got David Carr from NFL Total Access saying that he doesn't see Philly pulling out a dub against the Niners this week. There's a couple people saying that the Niners are going to actually win this game. Now, since adding Chase Young to this team, our defense has picked up tremendously. What does let's just say the front seven have to do to get to Jalen Hurts and stop his mobility in this game? I know we're not that great against mobile quarterbacks, but what do the Niners have to do to stop Jalen Hurts, especially? Pete, go first.
I mean, I think that they need to do the same thing that they've been doing, which is kind of just making sure that they play a little contained. I don't think that they need to necessarily get in Jalen Hurts' face. He's not a passer that way, like that. You just need to get near him and make him uncomfortable. I don't think they should be going all out, pinning their ears back and trying to get sacks necessarily and leaving open running lanes for him. They're going to have to play contained and keep him in the pocket. I think that that's the place that he's more dangerous, like most mobile quarterbacks, when they get out of the pocket. So yeah, the plan should be to keep him in the pocket, kind of go around and then just close all those lanes going in. But these receivers didn't have a good time against the 49ers corners last year. And I think that the secondary is actually better, which is weird to say with Funga being out. But they looked smothering last week. Ambry Thomas is having an epiphany. And then you've got Diamador Lenore just thriving in the slot, and being versatile in that way. I just think that this is a really bad matchup for their weapons, and I don't think Goddard's going to play in this game either. So that's one less weapon that they have. Their offensive line has been struggling. I know Lane Johnson says he's going to play, but he's not going to be 100% for sure. And with that defensive line, yeah, I think that it's not. I don't think Jalen Hurts. I know that this is because I know that he's a front runner for MVP. I don't think Jalen Hurts is special. I don't think he is.
I think he's overhyped.
He's not a bad quarterback. I mean, he's doing.
He's not bad.
Yeah,
but he's not
doing
special.
his thing. No, he's doing his thing. Now he has won games on his shoulders. That game against Buffalo, Jalen Hurts was having a terrible 3 quarters and came alive in the last quarter to even get themselves in position to go overtime. So he's not bad, but he's not your Patrick Mahomes. And right now, because they are 10-1, a lot of the MVP goes to based on the record of the team as well, instead of just the individual play, which is a lot of crap if you ask me. The addition of Chase Young was amazing. Steve Wilkes was doing things a little different. And not only did Chase Young come in at the right time, but Steve Wilkes decided to say, you know what, if it ain't broke it, why fix it? He kind of went back to the way DeMeco was running things, just allowing the front 4 to go after the quarterback, drop 7 and coverage, and made the switch, which I think was the biggest, even bigger impact than Chase was moving Lenore on the inside and getting Mr. Slowpoke, can't cover for nothing, Isaiah Oliver out of there. And they've been able to maintain that because Pete has brought it up. Ambry Thomas has been playing out of his mind. He's playing great football, which allows the Niners to keep that. Otherwise, if Ambry Thomas would have got burned, unfortunately not. I think we would have seen Isaiah Oliver back in the middle from no choice. So the fact that Ambry Thomas is up there doing his thing, man, I just want to give him a hand of applause because the dude is handling his business. But bringing an individual like Chase Young, we needed this since D Ford in 2019. We needed that speed rush from the outside. We needed someone that can truly complement Nick Bosa on the outside, not someone that can just, I love the guys that are rotational players. They're great. They're doing their thing, but they're rotational players for a reason. They don't bring that same offensive coordinator. Don't sit there and lose sleep because of the backup guys, Farrell or whoever they have back there as a backup. They lose sleep when they got to figure a way.
Farrell's
to
been
cover.
playing great.
Yes,
Farrell
yes.
has been playing great.
And to that point, yes, he has. But he's still a backup at the very. But he's been playing great, and that's good. But when you're an offensive coordinator and you say like, okay, shit, who do we game plan? Do we game plan for Nick Bosa or do we game plan for Chase Young? Who do we double team? Oh yeah, and if you decide to double team Hargrave, which they have, guess who's having an extended, better outing? Eric Armstead. He's already up to 5 sacks. Started with that. So this front four is fierce. And what we got to do to win this game is we got to be relentless at not only if we get to the quarterback, great, but he has to hear footprints. He needs to hear Bosa coming or Chase coming. They got to throw him on the floor. They got to push him. They got to toss him. They got to get him off his rhythm and contain that run. Now that Chase is there, I'm more comfortable of containing that outside run threat from Hurts. I think the Niners, if they play their type of football, Brandon and Pete, there's no one stopping us. We got to play our type of football. So the only enemies that we have is ourselves and injuries. If we can avoid those two things, this team is prime to do his thing this year. And it's going to be a great indication of where we're at with the Eagles in this game. Because I'll tell you one thing right now. If we go into Philly Sunday and we get our ass blown out, I don't care what you tell me about the playoffs. I'm going to be like Jim Mora. Playoffs? Don't talk to me about no playoffs. I want to win this game. We can win this game. But what we cannot do, we can even lose, and I don't want to, is get blown out, in my opinion. That would send a wrong message to this team.
Agreed.
Yep, absolutely.
So, who's your guys' X factors going into this game on defense and offense?
Who goes first?
Whoever goes first.
Go ahead, Pete.
Go ahead. Oh, okay. X factor for offense. Is it really an X factor? But Debo. I think that all this to do has been made about Debo all week long. And
preach it, brother. Preach it.
Talking about Bradbury and AJ Brown telling people to troll him, and they're boys. Like Debo even said, like that's just him, just starting stuff. But but I feel like there's a spotlight on Debo right now, but I don't think that this secondary can tackle. And I think if they get the ball in Debo's hands in space, it's a problem for this Eagles team because they don't want to tackle him. And I think Debo may have a big game. And I honestly wanted to say Brandon Ayuk, but I think Debo might be the guy in this game, and especially just because of his running ability. And on defense, I would say again Ambry Thomas. It's going to be Ambry Thomas. They've got it's not just AJ Brown over there. They've got Devontae Smith, and Devontae Smith is a very good wide receiver. And let's just say it, Charvarius Ward struggles against the smaller, quicker guys. He excels against a guy like AJ Brown, like the bigger, more physical wide receivers. Those are the guys that he loves playing. So he'll probably just follow AJ Brown around, but that means Ambry Thomas is going to be on Devontae Smith. But to Ambry's credit, he's been doing really well against those secondary receivers. So but I think that's a key matchup.
Yep. I agree. My X factors for offense is gonna be CMC. This guy has to touch the ball. If we run the ball 25, 30, if we run the ball 30 times on this Eagle, we're winning this game, especially in the conditions that we're playing in, if it rains indeed. We got to get CMC going. I would like to see Jordan Mason in there as well. I know they're going to do some runs with Debo, so I love your choice, Pete, with Debo as well. But the CMC has to be impactful in this game. He cannot be shut out. He needs to get the ball rolling because he's going to make things so much easier in the play action for Brock Purdy to do his thing and Debo and Ayuk to do their thing. Now, defensively, for me, it's going to be Fred Warner. Fred Warner is going to have to be silent to silent. We need this guy to play better than what he has been playing. And that's hard to say because the dude has been playing with his hair on fire. Great guy, man. So I need to see Fred Warner do his thing on defense and CMC offensively. If those two things happen, our chances of winning this game are great.
All right.
Why you gotta bring up Jordan Mason? Like that's a sore spot. They're not putting him in.
I
You
know,
they're not gonna
but-
put him in.
I'm feeling that if I say it enough, they'll do it. But I hear you, bro. I hear you. I know.
It makes me
Something happened.
upset. Like because
I hear you.
it's gonna be
like-
Elijah Mitchell.
Although
Yeah,
he's been
I mean,
running
don't
great.
get me-
He's been running great lately.
He ran really well. He ran really
He
well
did good
last
So
year.
if he
week.
does that, I'm okay.
I don't care.
It's when he
Yeah.
doesn't run well and they keep putting him in. That's when I have an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pete.
No, you're good. For me,
okay.
I'm gonna have to say George Kittle. I think George Kittle is due for a big game as well.
Okay.
Especially against Philly. I think he could go off, maybe score a touchdown, at least have maybe 80 yards or something. Defense, I'm gonna say Bosa is gonna eat this game. I think he's been wanting to get some revenge a little bit, even though they say that this is just another game and last season. I still think in the back of their heads they wanna get this game in the bag for sure. So it's gonna be interesting to see for sure. But here's my next question for you guys. So you guys saw Hassan Reddick is already commenting, talking shit.
what else
What
is
are you
new?
guys? Right?
Yeah.
And we have a video to play on Debo's response to it. But let me get your guys' thoughts first before we play it and see what your guys' thoughts are on this. Beto, go first.
Oh, did I lose it? I sure did. No, go ahead. Have Pete go first. I got to fix this real fast.
All right, Pete, go ahead, man.
So, I mean, so this is the thing. All the players for the 49ers have been asked these questions ad nauseum since before the season even started. And and the Eagles players, Eagles fans have all been calling the 49ers players whiners because of this. Guess what? They were answering the questions that they were asked. Like, what do you want them to say? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you expected them to say, but regardless, what was the first thing that the Eagles did after the Super Bowl? They started whining about the turf and about the other stuff. So, I mean, Hassan Reddick can just now that he doesn't have all those beasts, he doesn't have Javon Hargrave on the line. He's not having as good of a year as he was last year, which not much worse, but they don't have the depth. They don't have the depth on the defensive line that they had last year. They're not coming in waves anymore. And it's not going to be the same. So and I think that's why the 49er players for the most part are just staying quiet. Not because they're afraid of the Eagles, but because they're just going to let their play do the talking.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got the video ready to go. So
I got
we're
I got
good.
a question for you guys after we play the video though.
Okay.
Okay.
So the whole trash talking, listen, to me is put up or shut up. Anyone can do this, okay? Anybody like there's a bunch of keyboard warriors out in social media, right? There's a lot of people out there calling your name, kicking your ass, saying things to you that you wouldn't normally say to that individual in person. You can dismiss me with all this talk. You have an issue with me, come and talk to me in my face and let's handle it like men. Hassan Reddick is doing his talking, fine. The Niners are going to respond physically on the field. And this is where they need to make their statement. Fletcher is hurt, guys. I don't think he's going to play. So that's one of their inside pass rushers that might be out.
Cox?
Cox. I'm sorry, Cox, yeah. And
Balls.
the thing is this. He's trying to get his defense riled up. But sometimes you can put your defense in a bad situation when you put your foot in your mouth that comes out of your ass, because that's what he's doing. You don't think the Niners are listening to this? They may say they don't care, but they do. Every man has their pride. Every man, you talk shit, we're going to back it up, and we're going to see a great football game. I just pray that nobody gets hurt or nobody gets out of hand and throw blows that they shouldn't throw. And I know the referees are going to be high alert. We don't want nobody ejected either.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, you want to go ahead and play it?
Yeah, let me. All right, here we go.
What is the cause of the you and Bradbury thing? If you could explain it in terms I can understand.
Like,
was there a moment on the field?
No, it wasn't necessarily a moment of the field. We was just talking ball and, said what I said and, and they dragged it on or whatever, but whatever the case may be. But it's kind of like I stated yesterday, like, at the end of the day, like, I said it, but I don't regret it.
Now, obviously, you heard of Hassan Reddick. I heard boo-hoos. I saw that. I don't know if he's talking. I don't know who he's talking to, the boo-hoos and all of that. But I do want to ask you. And here's the quote: "Talk is cheap. They get to come back into the link. It was a lot of boo-hoos last year, a lot of crying, a lot of what ifs, a lot of this, a lot of that. They get a chance to come back in here, line that shit up, and prove it again." So, I mean, boo-hoos, Debo?
Hey, man, we'll catch you on Sunday.
Is this one of those?
Come on, Debo.
Honestly, is this one of those where you see Shanahan and you say, "Yo, give me a chance to chip number 7 on this next play"?
No, I don't play that type of game.
You don't want to block Hassan?
Nah, whatever. I mean, whatever Kyle asks me to do, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna go to him and be like, "Yo, let me chip this guy" or anything like that. Nah.
I feel like you asked for the ball though. This isn't one of those where you're like, "Hey,
I'm
I
not
just
a
got
guy that
featured
go
in
in
the
there.
Seahawks game."
I'm not a guy that go in there and ask for the ball either. Like, I think Kyle knows his personnel and he knows, what all his players are capable of, and he do a great job of sharing the ball around.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but man, is she fine or what?
Yeah, she is.
Good.
But I didn't say that. I didn't say that out loud. But that's a great statement. Debo's saying it right there. We're going to show them. See you on Sunday. Yeah, they're going to do their talking on the field. And hey, it's not like the Niners need more motivation than they already have. And then you're going to go and poke the bear. You know what happens when you poke the bear and you're not paying attention? You're liable to lose your arm.
Yeah.
And I think Hassan Reddick is in that direction.
Yeah. Well, look at what Mia put in the chat. She mentioned how Micah Parsons ran his mouth before the game in Week 5, and we destroyed them, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Niners do their talking on the field. It's as simple as that.
I mean, it's really but it's really simple. If I could just talk about that for 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Hassan Reddick, he's got to get his team riled up. Like, I don't blame him for talking. They won. They won. Like, they're supposed to talk. 49ers were talking before the Cowboy game because they won the last time they played.
That's a good point, Pete.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't get mad about it. You got to go in there and like he said, now you got another shot at it. You better come in here and bring it, and they've got to go in and take it. Like it's that simple. And Debo, that's what I'm telling you. That's why these, for the most part, Debo and the rest of the team are staying pretty quiet, is because you can't talk when the last time you were in there you lost. Even it doesn't matter what the circumstances were. Like it is what it is. So they've got to go in there and just like Debo said, see you on Sunday. But my question for you guys, because of what we were just talking about, is this game bigger for the players or the fans?
Honestly, I think it's bigger for the fans. I'm not even gonna
Yes,
lie.
absolutely.
Especially because how ridiculous the Eagles fans are too.
Oh, goodness.
And they teach these kids,
Goodness.
they teach these guys to be, I mean, listen, as a father and a grandfather, I don't think that it's, or I can't hang my hat on and teach my kid how to be an asshole, okay, to other people and say, yeah, that's my kid. You got these you got this little kid, I don't know, he must have been like 8 years old, 9, and he's in the Buffalo fans. He goes like he's gonna shake the hand of the Buffalo fan. The Buffalo guy's like, all right, and then he goes and flips him off, and kind of, and the dad's there sitting there like proud, like a proud dad. I don't know about you guys, but that's shameful that you can teach your kid that it's okay to disrespect another man over a team. The fans are idiots. The fact that Fred Warner's wife will never go back to that field because of what they did to her last year. It's sad. It's sad that these fans have to be that stoop that low. So yes, this is not a player thing. This is a fan thing, talking their trash. Philadelphia fans act like they won the Super Bowl last year. The last time I checked, I think, wasn't it Patrick Mahomes winning that Super Bowl and the Chiefs? And they were complaining about, the field not being right. They were, if I'm not mistaken, did Patrick Mahomes still play in that same field than Jalen Hurts? Didn't the Chiefs play in the same field? So Philly fans, it's like, yeah, you're 10-1. All right, your team's playing good, but you haven't won shit. Okay, so until you win the Super Bowl, drop it down a notch. Don't act like you're Super Bowl champions. You're not. But to Pete's point, they did beat us. Regardless if we lost Brock or not, regardless we didn't have a quarterback out there, they still beat us. So they can talk their shit. The Niners are doing it the right way. They're like, all right, even though Vegas has us favorites, the Niners are looking like we're the underdogs. We're gonna, Brock Purdy's not gonna get hurt like he did, and he's gonna be well prepared for this game, and we're gonna see who the better quarterback play is this Sunday. There's so many things to watch. It's gonna be fun to watch, and I can't wait for Sunday.
Yeah, I absolutely think it's a fan thing because at the end of the day, it's a regular season game. 49ers swept the Rams in the regular season a couple of years ago and lost in the playoffs to that same Rams team.
Yeah.
That happened before with the Seahawks as well. It's these games, like, we get hyped for them as fans because we want to confirm our biases and be able to go to the water cooler at work and talk mess to all of our coworkers and like talk mess on Twitter and get in the spaces and go crazy. Like, but the reality is the players, this is another game that they got to go in and they just got to get the win. They don't really care. I don't think they really care if it's the Eagles or not. I think it's just they need to get a win and get this seeding and keep the seeding to where they're number 2 and just don't lose ground in the division or any of that stuff. So, yeah, I just think it's bigger for the fans. And I don't hold it against Philly fans. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said before, you talk when you win. If you won, you get to talk. Now the all the extra stuff, throwing batteries
Yeah. That's
and,
yeah.
and
Bro,
attacking people and like all that kind of stuff. That's, I mean, obviously too far, and you need something else in your life if you've got to do all that at a football game. If that's all you have, if that's all you have in your life to be able to throw batteries at football
I
games,
wonder what their
then,
IQ
hey,
is, bro. Their
like,
education. What level is it at?
you are an empty person inside, and you need help. So it is.
They
what
need
it is.
Jesus.
Yeah, you need Jesus.
Jesus don't want them.
No, I don't. Not throwing batteries.
Good one, Pete. Good one. Good one. Yeah. Their fans are terrible, man. They are terrible. Go ahead, Brandon.
All right, y'all. Well, let's see here. What's your guys' score prediction going into this game?
Ooh. I don't know. You want me to go first, Pete? Or you want to go first?
Yeah, you can go for it. Doesn't matter.
Man. This is a tough one because I want to see the first couple of script plays on the field to kind of get an idea of which direction the Niners are going, how hot they come out. Are they going to start fast? Are they going to start slow? If everything goes accordingly, in other words, the Niners play their type of football, makes mistakes, but very few mistakes that are not very costly. The way this defense is playing, I would say 31-24 Niners.
Okay. Pete?
I laugh because that was the first score that popped in my head, 31-24. But
Oh, wow.
the more as he's talking, like the score kept going up and up and up in my brain, and now I think it's going to be 35-32. 49ers win by a field goal, 60-yarder in the rain by Jake Moody.
Damn.
So you're saying their offense is going to put 32 points on our D?
I think that this Eagle team has found ways to stay close in all their games.
Fair enough.
And I think the 49ers are going to score. I just think some weird things are going to happen. It's supposed to rain. I don't know how that's going to affect Purdy. Everybody can say that it's nothing, but we have yet to see him play in a rain. Yeah, we have yet to see him play in a rain game, and he played well. So I want to see. I want to see it before I can confidently say. But I think that they're going to run the ball a lot. I think they're going to get the ball into their playmakers' hands. I think they're going to figure it out, and that's why I think they're going to score points. But I don't know that they'll be able to. I think that they're not going to control time of possession, and I think that's how the Eagles stay kind of close.
Yep. I think the immigration is coming.
Did we lose Brandon? Yeah.
No, he was checking on the police.
All right. Well, here's my response back to that, Pete. I think the Eagles haven't played a good enough defense like the Niners, and I think the score is gonna be like a 31-17 game. Niners win.
Wow. Okay.
I hope so. I hope so. I really would love for this to be a simple, just straight blowout.
If it's going to be a blowout, though, it has to be with us getting the dub. If it goes the other way,
oh yeah, for sure,
we're going to have some issues, man, because I can't deal with that. To do that, but
Twitter is going to be super toxic. If I don't even want to go on Twitter, if the 49ers get blown out.
Yeah, I can only hear McCoy on.
I really don't.
Oh, I don't think so either. I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah.
But if that happens somehow, oh my God, it's going to be like it's going to be really hard.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch Speak, bro, because Sean McCoy will be nuts. That dude's a fool.
Nick Wright will be 24 hours all day.
Ned Reich is just a complete idiot, bro. He doesn't. It's all for clicks with him, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's all with clicks, and I understand they're in that business.
I don't even watch them. Like, but people post their clips all the time. But otherwise, I don't watch ESPN or Fox. Yeah, they don't have anything to say that I want to hear.
Yeah, real quick, Brandon, Pete, David Williams, welcome to the channel, by the way, brought up a good question. And maybe we'll have Brandon answer, and then Peter, and then myself. He says, how many sacks will the Niners have? He says 3 total sacks. That's actually a good question there, David. Thank you for asking that question, buddy. Let's go ahead and give you a hand of applause for that. Brandon, what is your sack total?
So they had 6 sacks last week in Seattle. I'm gonna say 4.
That is the correct answer.
Go ahead, Pete.
I know I'm gonna be the wet blanket here. I'm gonna say 2. Like I just think Jalen Hurts is actually kind of hampered. He's wearing a brace, like, and he's not really that fast to begin with.
Incorrect answer.
But I think that they have a problem sacking mobile quarterbacks. I don't listen to you just like I don't listen to my wife.
This Vato, man. He thinks he's funny. Oh my goodness. Oh, my back. Ooh. I'm looking for the right one. I don't have it. You're lucky. You're lucky I didn't find it, because it was perfect cue to hit that sound bite. But right, I must have lost it. Anyway,
what's your answer?
For me, it's gonna be I would say I like that 4 number. I'm gonna go with 5. 5 sacks in this game.
Hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
Here we go.
Yes,
this is the button that I was looking for, you, Pete.
Ha, ha, ha. Very funny.
But I little late, I know. My
Sounds just
bad.
like her.
Orale. Orale. This guy has jokes. Here, hey, after the show, next Tuesday, you're not going to hear Pete because...
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's going to be the Eagles.
Or
Come on Sunday.
Or I'm gonna have a whole bunch of makeup, like just to cover up the black eyes.
Orale. Eagles.
Right.
Epic fail.
Go
y'all.
ahead, Brent.
I think we can start wrapping it up here. Is there any last thoughts?
Don't forget about the last video, bro. Fufu.
Oh yeah, go ahead and play the last video real quick.
Oh, este vato.
I know, mom.
Your video.
Mom is.
I'm waiting on you.
Órale, pues. I'll take the responsibility. All right, let's play the last video.
All right.
Here we go, guys. Enjoy.
And to expand upon your point about Chase Young's addition there, 15 sacks, I think 3 games, Unc, actually, not even 5. 10 of those sacks are with 4. Yeah, with 4 men, with 4 down. So when you only have to have 4 down to get pressure, get 10 sacks in 3 games, you can let the rest of the defense hunt. And we know Fred... Exactly. So it's like right now they are playing at their zenith. They look like the team last year going into the NFC Championship. And I completely forgot about people holding those 3 losses over the San Francisco 49ers head. To your point, Stephen A., when Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel are both back and healthy, that's a different team. They're the ones leading the team onto the field with the boom box coming out. They are actually the first 2 off the bus. Those are actually the first 2 off the bus. So whenever you didn't have them, they're a vastly different team. Now they're in their full form, still pissed about what happened in the NFC Championship game, playing their best football. This Niners team, just like they have been for the last, 4 years, feels like they're Super Bowl contenders. Not that the Eagles aren't, but it feels like they're playing at a Super Bowl level earlier than the Eagles will be doing so this year.
Preach it, Mickey. Preach it, brother. All right. Nice take right there. Absolutely.
Comments.
Go ahead, Pete.
And then we'll wrap it up.
I mean, I hate First Take. I hate it, and especially with Shannon Sharp on there now. 1 week he's talking all mess about Brock Purdy. Hasn't even watched any of the games. The producers just handing him talking points, and then what do you know? Like Purdy does well, makes a tremendous throw. Here comes Shannon Sharp. Oh, we're paying attention now. Well, a lot of us were paying attention for the past 10 weeks, 10 to 12 weeks. So, but I think that he's right. I think that Pat McAfee is right. And I give him credit for the way that he's. I think that there was something to Trent Williams and Debo not being there to lead the team into those games. I think that not having Trent, the best left tackle in football, is a factor. And then I think they could have won without Debo, but not having Trent, I think, was the main issue on those 3 losses. Like, at least for offensively, that's how I looked at that.
All right.
Yeah.
Beto?
I'm sorry. Repeat the question for me again? Lost it there.
On Pat McAfee's comments.
Oh, Matt. Yeah, I'm with him. I think, I like what he said, not just because he's talking about my team, of course, but McAfee, for what I've been watching, I don't watch too much of his shows, but what I do, he kind of keeps it at best, 90% real, which I can respect. What he says what he likes to say. And to this day, why he went to ESPN, I don't know. He should stay what he was. He was able to be more of himself, but that's a whole different conversation. I think he's right. I think the Niners are going in there with high expectations. They're healthy. Debo and Trent Williams are the heart and soul of this team. Yes, Brock is playing great. Yes, our defense is playing great, but it's not a coincidence that we lost 3 games when we lost those 2 gentlemen and we played a different. And since they've been back, we've been playing on fire again offensively. Now the defense is different. They were just having some woes that they had to fix, which they did. But offensively, having Trent Williams healthy, having Debo healthy, that's why I'm fired up for this game. I would be different if we did not have one or both of those guys going into this game. Having them healthy is going to be a great fight. I can't wait to see what Kyle Shanahan schemes up. Now, this is me and me only. Tell me if you guys agree. Those in the chat as well. I think there's some play calls that Shanny has been saving in his left pocket for this particular game. He's been saving some calls that he's going to call in this particular game to try to put the Niners in good positions to lead with points. Because once the Niners are ahead, they don't look back. It's when we fall behind and we start playing the catch-up that we can be a little bit of trouble. And now we're putting a little bit more pressure on Brock. So we'll see what Shanny has, but I think Shanny has a great schemed-up game plan. Now, the Niners will have to execute it to the best of their ability, but I cannot wait to see this game. This game's going to be a lot of fun, man. And it's going to be even funner with the victory, of course.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
I think that this is going to be one of those signature games of the season for the NFL. I think that everybody's going to be watching. I know it's at the 1 o'clock game for y'all.
Prime time game.
Yeah, from what I understand, whoever had the game refused to give it up to be slid into the prime time, from what they said. I didn't know that they could do that, but apparently they can. And I think that another underrated aspect of this game is who is starting at right guard. Is it going to be because they're saying Burford may be healthy enough to come back? Do they go back to Burford or do they leave John Feliciano in?
Yeah, that's a good question, Pete. That's a very interesting question. I'm leaning.
You guys go ahead.
Let Burford rest one more week.
Yes, that's the way I do.
That's my thought.
Keep it the way it is right now.
Feliciano
is playing really well.
Yep.
Like I don't think that you mess with anything.
And I don't just like Spencer Burford, but I like the way Feliciano is playing right now, bro. So I'm with you. Why fix it if it ain't broken, right?
Exactly.
And he's doing really well pass protection. And I don't know that you need to not have him in there with Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis in the middle. So.
All right. I think that's going to do it for us. Everybody in the chat, thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate you and your contributions and commenting in the chat. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button on all channels. We are trying to grow our channels, like Beto said in the beginning of the show. And we will be back next week, Tuesday, same time, to go over this game. Until next time.
6:30 p.m. Pacific. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Pete.
Go
I'm
Niners.
excited. Go Niners. Kick the Eagles' ass. Let's go. Peace.
Niners. Bang, bang.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.